Cool. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to our podcast number.
9.
Is it 9? Cool.
Favorite number, dude.
And we've got some great guests today. We've got Brian and Anthony from Auto Envy and PPF. I don't know. You guys have so many businesses.
Yeah, what else?
But let
you
me
guys
do my
got?
intro.
That was a good intro.
Cool. So what's up, guys? How you guys been? What's new?
Oh man, just a lot going on. Trying to just keep moving, keep advancing a little at a time. Trying to stay busy through the recession,
Yeah.
and not a whole lot, just plugging away.
Yeah. How's the Auto Envy life?
It's good. We're making changes constantly, kind of adapting and starting to change for the differences with like the economies and stuff. So I'm starting to incorporate some new things. Gonna be bringing on a new delivery truck and
Oh, snap.
doing on new things, stuff like that. Trying to drop some cost on certain things. Just really analyzing the.
Yeah, I saw some
Analyticals
ready
and
to
stuff.
go products. I went last week, and I was like, oh,
Yep.
these are new.
Yeah, so we're trying to cater to more than just the detailers and to everyone. Trying to prepare for whatever's coming. We have a lot of friends and clients in a lot of places that are starting to get a little bit skittish on the market. So
Okay.
we figure take that advice and prep for it instead of being unprepared. So that's kind of how it is at Auto Envy, and at PPF it's very similar. We're just
Yeah.
trying to stay busy and keep our customers happy, keep quality control.
I don't know. I
up.
feel like you guys are super busy at PPF. I went there once. My first time, I was just talking to Brian for like an hour. Just the usual what I do in the past. I would just hang out for like an hour and talk.
Yeah,
But,
just come check it out.
There was like 20 cars there. It was crazy.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to be busy over there, which is nice. It has its weeks, and you guys know how it is with the
Yeah.
service-based stuff.
Well,
So
I know. I don't know. Maybe I just came at the right time because
Yeah.
I was like, there was like so many cars there. They had a Rivian in the back and
Oh, nice.
all that stuff, and I was like, what's going on? In my head, I was like, man, must be like this all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
we actually, it's funny you say that because we have to be like that all the time with
Yeah.
the overhead we have. But no, Brian's done a good job at keeping things moving. We have a good group of guys. I mean, just like everything, when you have a lot of employees, there's a lot of issues here and there. But for the most part, we're really fortunate to have good guys that produce good quality stuff.
How many guys do you guys have on your team over there?
We have a total of 10 employees over there.
Okay,
now.
nice.
Yeah, well, including me.
And Brian, you're in charge of you're like the head guy over there?
yeah, I manage like the day-to-day quality control stuff like
Nice.
that. And then we have a really, really good sales guy, John. He's really, really good.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have both of them, but Brian's definitely in charge of like the floor.
Okay.
Of basically the shop manager, and then Bozeman's, I call him Bozeman, but John, he's our sales manager. So it's kind of a tag team effort, and then Alex and I own the company, and we kind of overlook everything, but we're really busy with other things as well. So we're in and out constantly, and we just kind of use that whole system to keep everything going. Obviously for us, paint protection film is our big thing. Window tints second, and then detailing is kind of a third. We try and that's on purpose. We purposely try to not compete with our detailers.
Okay.
So that's why we don't.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, we don't offer really detailing services over there. We'll do a quick interior wipe down vacuum or something within the big service we're doing. Or if we have to do a paint correction on a car because it's destroyed before putting film on or a coating, something simple like that we'll do. But we've really throttled back on all that completely. Oh, good catch.
That'll be tight for a blooper reel.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but we're really we've tried to throttle back on all that to always have always
PPF first.
putting our PPF guy, our PPF first, and then putting our on our end on the Auto Envy side, keeping our detailers and stuff, at bay, and making sure we're helping them continue to grow and not taking business from them. So that's kind of what we try to do.
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, I know.
We do like to get the details here and there, though, because we do get to do product development and testing for the Auto Envy line, which is
Yeah, I
nice.
saw
So we'll actually have real-world tests for our products.
We use it on our cars all the time, and
Yeah.
that's the great thing with the Auto Envy line that a lot of brands don't have an opportunity to do. We have access to some of the nicest, most exclusive high-end cars constantly in our shop. I mean, it's the nicest of the nicest is in that shop constantly. So it's all stuff that, the Auto Envy product line is constantly being tested and used on, so it's held to an extremely high standard. And so it really gives us the advantage of making sure we're pushing the brand and the development of the product to the 10th degree all the time.
Yeah, that's really cool. We were just talking about it the other day. Marco is like our video guy, and we just talk about like all the different products, and we always joke around with the guys. Like, you've seen our videos, we fuck around a ton. But like,
Love
I
it.
mean, our favorite product is legit polymer.
Yeah.
Marco, maybe we're trying to like, what's the smell? What's the smelly smell? It's not like a scent, like a air freshener. It's like, it's clean, but like, what is it? How would you explain it? I wouldn't even know where to start to describe what
Well,
polymer is.
we did a mixture of two, right?
I think it was like an exotic scent.
We
I think it was like mango,
it's
like
an exotic
something like
tropical
that.
scent. So
No
it's,
wonder. I was like,
okay.
what
They
is
like
this?
mixed two scents
Yeah.
together and it came out
So
really,
we
really
did
good.
a
Oh,
mango
man.
and a tropical scent, and then we merged it and we tested it multiple times, and we finally got it right. And we're like, okay, this is the one, because we knew the product was going to be a hit the minute we had been testing that in our shop when we and Brian were running the service business out of the back of Auto Envy for a while. We had been testing that for like 3, 4, 5 months maybe of just constantly testing it on cars before we actually released it. And we're like, okay, this is the real deal. This is gonna be the stuff. And
My favorite thing ever.
Sure enough,
Smells like candy.
stuff-
Smells good. It's the easiest to use for sure.
We need
as
an
well.
air
Works.
freshener
The
of that.
ease of ease is
it's funny you say that because we've actually wanted it. A lot of the products have gotten so popular because of scents and colors and stuff. So we've thought about bringing out some air fresheners within the line that's basically just replicas of the scents that everyone loves within the products. Like
Polymer
everyone
scent.
loves Polymer, Cleanse, the new Typhoon scent, super popular, Matrix.
I do like Matrix.
Prime has a really good elderberry, like nice misty scent.
The wash and wax
Wash
cherry
and
smell
wax
is
smells
really, really
It's a
amazing.
good.
strong cherry too.
Really strong.
Yeah.
That's the thing with automobile products. A lot of brands and bigger companies, they tend to like to dilute their scents and their colors down because that's what's expensive in producing products. And then obviously the surfactants and cleaning aids and stuff. And we try to keep that as strong as possible to get, one, the best results, but two, give you that experience that you get from like an Adams or other brands that really
Yeah.
hold themselves to a higher standard. So that's something we've tried to stick to, and people love it from that standpoint.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love it. I mean, I like almost all of your products.
yeah.
It's just nice to use. I mean, what was it? We did 2 ceramic coatings just like this week. And that was like the most we've done in a long time. I don't remember last time we did ceramic coating. I was like,
Yeah.
it's like total 3 this month, which is really a lot because that was our special. We had 3 for our special, which is not a lot for a special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just one of those things. But like a lot of the guys were asking like, so this is the only combo we use. This blue wool and katana.
Dude, it's a fire combo.
Yeah.
The guys always ask, and I look at them like, guys,
The same thing we used
even
last
on our
week.
single stage polishes, like paint corrections, like it's the same combo, guys. We've never changed it.
And,
It
and
just-
we've actually, it's funny you say that because that's why we made that combo, was to have a go-to. Because see, this is the thing, is in the chemical industry, being around it for so long, you'll start understanding that every brand, what they try to do is they're constantly, when a brand launches a product, the goal is to obviously what?
Sell it.
Generate revenue, right? So if they bring out a product, let's say every 4 to 6 weeks, some of these companies are doing it less than that. Some of them are doing it slightly more spread out than that, 1 to 2 months. When you're constantly bringing out products, it's making the consumer, which is all of us at some point, to say, hey, I got to try that. What if it's better? Our goal was not to have a saturated brand that has a bunch of repetition constantly in the same thing. Because if you look at our brand compared to others, we don't have 15 compounds and 15 polishes like a lot of other brands
Yeah,
do.
it's overkill.
It's complete overkill. If you're doing that, that means one, you as a chemist, you as a brand, as an owner of a brand, you are not doing your job. You're doing the lazy, easy way out, which is, hey, oh, that looks like it's a little bit better. Let's just launch it and leave the other one because that one sells too. Why not do it the harder way and improve the formula, educate your customers, give them and show them the advantages on why we made the overall change. Yeah, it costs me a little more because I have to get new labels. I have to spend the time in development. We have to spend the time in testing, and now I have to spend the time in training the retail customer. But you know what it does is I'm actually not only helping that customer, but I'm saving them money, because now that customer is not confused when they go to that car and they're, hey, I got to do a 2 or 3 step because I got to put a coating on this thing and it's hammered. What do I do? Because I have Katana Plus, I got all these other compounds in the industry out there, and I'm mixed up and I don't know what to grab. Now it's simplified because like with Katana, we got that really, really good. It was actually the first compound of that specific type in the industry, And then when we came out and we refined it with Katana Plus, we could have easily left Katana because it was so popular, but we just made it Katana Plus, improved it, eliminated that formula, saved detailers the hassle and the money to not have
Got
to
it.
buy two different
So there's
ones and be
only Katana
confused.
Plus now.
Yeah, so it's level Katana Plus. That just, and level was needed because we did need a little bit of a heavier cut for those ultra hammered cars.
Yeah.
So we have level, Katana Plus, we have our flawless, and we have our radiant. And finishing polishes, you should always have an ultra fine finishing, jeweling polish, and then what we like to call our low to mid tier finishing abrasive, which will refine itself and finish extremely high gloss. But it's better for those harder clear coats or those more finicky clears. Where radiant's going to be, for that jeweling, and you have those really intricate cars that you're trying to refine in multiple steps. So it's a really easy 4-part system, and then you have that one-off 3MV1 product that's extremely popular for one-step polishes, which is a moneymaker for detailers that are really trying to be efficient, get good cutting, polishing. It actually has Katana's abrasive in it, so that's why 3MV1 cuts pretty decently well for a one-step, and it has some refining polymers in it, similar to Polymer Plus and other things, so it leaves protection behind. And it's great. It has some mild filling effects, but nothing crazy. And yeah, man, it's been good.
Yeah. So when it comes to like 3NV1, I don't know. It was hard for me for a long time to use like HG speed and things like that back in the day. It was just because like I wanted a little bit more. Like, what's so hard about waxing afterwards?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was just me. But I mean, we still use 3NV1 every so often, especially with the car like they want a paint corrector, like it's just a gloss enhancement.
Yeah.
So we do that. But if we look like a thrash car, they want a single stage paint correction. I was like, let's just Katana and then just boost it right after.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah,
Right.
Katana we spent a lot of time working on that, like years.
Yeah.
And we use all of the products that are in our line, and we just want to make sure that like for the 3MV1 Plus or those products, we all use them every day. So we don't want 15 different compounds because we don't want to use 15 different compounds. And it's
Yeah.
funny because, like you said, the guys will come to me and ask, what's the combo on this car? Or like, hey, I can't figure it out. And I'm like, did you use, either Red
Same one
McGuire's
as
microfiber
always.
cutting pad and Katana? And they'll look at me and be like,
No.
I used Flawless. And I was like, try it again. Go back to the basics. Go back to the roots. So simplifying everything. We want our detailers, everybody that buys a product and everything from us, to make it easy. We want everybody to have good results.
Yeah. From when it comes to the Auto Envy line for Katana, literally just blue. That works on every paint almost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And wait,
Like
it's
95%.
what's really cool now is Rupes, and we've been working on some microfiber stuff as well. But Rupes came out, and we obviously are high supporters of Rupes. We're good friends with the guys over there, and
Shout out Paul.
Yes, Paul Wilder, and we just love their stuff. We sold it for a long time. That's pretty much the brand we'll always rep for polishers because we stand behind them, use them in our big shop as well. And what I could honestly say is they just hit a home run with they released new microfiber pads, and they're very, very good. They're very similar to like the old school Meguiar's DMCs. That's probably because Jason Rose was probably even quite a bit involved in the development, which was initially one of the guys that was involved at Meguiar's in those development of those pads.
Okay.
And rotation's good. Durability's a little bit better. What was the downside to the Meguiar's pads? We noticed they were great pads, cut really well, but they would blow out really fast. The Velcro wasn't great because they would overheat.
Got it. Yeah.
Rupes
Or
kind
the
of
foam
helped
interface
that.
would separate.
Yep.
It would start like breaking apart.
Basically the backing plate would start eating into them super quick. So they kind of addressed a lot of those things. And you'll never have a perfect pad. They're not meant to last forever, but those are definitely great. And we just we're starting to bring them in now. We've been playing around with them and really, really like them. So when you start seeing what Katana Plus and Level will do with those, it's pretty nuts. And even Flawless, because they have a new ultra finishing pad that's in microfiber that is a killer one-step pad with Flawless or with 3MV1. And just so you know, like for us, we use 3MV1 pretty often because we'll have clients that come in and they say, hey, we like to have something within everyone's budget, but let's say they say, hey, we're going to PPF the front of the car. The front of the car is going to look almost brand new again because the PPF does that. But they don't have the budget, or they want to spend the money to finish the back half, or they don't want to put a coating on. And they're already there. So we could do a quick one step on the back with our 3MV1 to protect it. And it ends up leveling out the rest of the car to make it look really good. And it's minimal time for the installer or the detailer.
Nice.
So good
That's what's up.
advantage, and it's got its perks for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah, so that's really cool. I want to go back to just for other detailers who are listening and for myself, how does the whole management work at the shop and your salesman? Because I never thought about having a salesman.
So he's in charge of all initial client contact. So he calls a lead, sells a job, customer comes in, he greets them, gets them situated, gets their estimate and everything. It really helps big time with running a shop that size or doing the volume that we're doing because, as you know, talking to clients all the time and running a shop at the same time is just, it's
Exhausting.
nuts.
It sucks, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anthony did it for
takes
years.
you
You guys
away.
have done it. It's a lot.
Yeah,
So
that's
having a sales guy that's dedicated to that, it's really good for the client experience too, because especially with customers, they're spending like, sometimes 8 to 10 grand on a full body wrap or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like that.
right.
You need that customer service.
That experience,
Yeah.
yeah. Give
And
me
he
that
has just a
experience.
one point of contact, so that way he's not talking to 3 different
Yeah,
people.
so
for stuff.
Exactly.
it's exactly what you said right there. And everything Brian reiterated, I can't talk, reiterated, is exactly right because we're really fortunate to have John. And John has been fantastic because he's actually pretty overqualified for the job. He's like an ex-politician. He
shoot.
Oh,
really
shoot.
Lobbyist.
lobbyist. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, lobbyist.
Same
and
difference.
Very similar.
Senator Bozeman.
Yeah. Very good guy, extremely knowledgeable, very professional, and it's very, very tough to find someone like that. So we're very fortunate because he's extremely professional when he's dealing with clients and customers. And you're right, that was the biggest thing is me on the auto MV side when me and Brian were doing the service stuff. And we had like Brandon and other detailers working for us at the time that have kind of spread out and done their own thing. I was handling almost all of that. Occasionally Brian would as well. And I was always busy, especially trying to, get my brand going and keeping our chemical distribution business going. It was a lot. We were 6 to 7 days a week, every week for many years. And basically our thought process is me and Alex sat down, and Alex, he's my business partner over at Paint Protection Film, real good guy. We sat down and we said, hey, how can we effectively run this company, grow it, while still being involved but not being stuck here at all times? Because when you're stuck at a place, it's hard to really balloon the effect and really grow the company, because if we're stuck there, then now we can't be trying to introduce ourselves and talk to new clients, be at the dealership talking to the owner of certain places and doing certain things and kind of planting that seed and building those relationships up. So I told him, hey, we came across, it's funny because John, me and Brian, we wrapped his Tesla Model 3. He lived in San Francisco. And his family was down here. He brought it to us. We full body wrapped it, loved the job, was super stoked. They unfortunately had to move down here. I think it was some family things going on, some health issues with some of the family members. So they moved down, came in one day. He's like, I'm done with the crazy
San Francisco
professional lifestyle. I'm just trying to go to the basics. He's like, hey, if you ever need help detailing or something, I don't care. I just want to go back down to the basics. I don't want to do this super stressful work again. And I thought he was joking, right? And so
Yeah, it was totally out of left field. Like we had just tinted his Tesla because he came back. So we wrapped it, and then he's like, "Oh, I want to put tint on it for the heat because they're not from Fresno, so they're like, I hate this.
like, this is
This sucks."
different,
So
horrible.
we tinted his car, and then he just at the end, he's like, "Hey, if you guys are ever like hiring, like, I'd love to work here." And I'm like, "Here?
Yeah.
With
Like,
us?"
yeah, dude, we're smart guys, but we're not Bozeman smart.
Yeah,
So
no.
it was one of those things where me and Brian kind of laughed and giggled about it, thinking like, yeah, there's no way we could hire Bozeman. We're too stupid for
You're
that.
like, "Can you imagine this guy hanging out with us, like in the
Yeah.
shop, dude? He's hilarious."
I was like,
though.
he'll progressively get stupider every day. So
This might be detrimental to his well-being.
yeah, but then he came back, I think, for a follow-up a few weeks later or a month later or something, or to buy a few products for his Tesla because he's very OCD, which also helps.
Yeah.
He's very like
Tesla's clean.
Yeah, his Tesla
Immaculate.
keeps it immaculate. He's like me from a standpoint of very like over OCD and a little anal on keeping things extremely neat. And so he came back in and he said it again. And so I told Brian, I was like, dude, I think he's serious. Like, this might work. I can't afford to hire him because I don't have the money for it right now, but I got to figure this out. At that time, me and Alex were talking about merging, We ended up picking up the place from Porsche Fresno, buying it out, and when we did, we said, all right, we need to bring someone on. We just ran it ourselves for a few months, 2 or 3 months. I think it was just me, Alex, and Brian, kind of overlooking everything. And then we decided, all right, I'm gonna call him. And he sent us his resume. Me and Alex were like, dude, there's no fucking way. This has got to be fake.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it wasn't fake. And we called him, and he's like, I have no idea anything you guys are talking about with paint protection film, but I'm willing to learn.
That was going to be a question that I had. Did he have any experience
None.
with detailing or anything?
Zero.
None. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened, to be honest with
Just like
you.
a sponge.
Yeah, because what I found being around detailers all the time is they're super smart, good guys, hard workers. But a lot of us detailers have an ego, and I could say that even with myself.
You've been saying that forever. You taught me that a long time ago.
I've tried to put my ego aside because I've had to help people and to. But you know, unfortunately, in this industry, we don't realize that if we take it down to the basics, we're car washers. You know, we really are. We're not.
All of us just car
We're
washers.
not doctors performing, you know,
Surgery or anything,
on babies or people to keep them alive. So the truth is that we take it a little too seriously. We should be
I'm a
little
professional.
we should be a little more humble, and that's what me and Lund and a lot of guys have talked about, and that was a great thing. But to answer your question, yeah, he had no experience. That was the best thing we could have done, because he was a sponge. Everything we showed him and taught him between us.
A clean foundation you could start from.
Oh, dude, he's absorbed it, and he's still learning every day. But man, he's really picked it up, and
it's good for clients.
Is he the shorter guy that was in there?
No, he's about my height.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian's pretty short.
No, but it was cool because he was a customer. So when he is now on the other side, he understands like how they feel, and he got a full body wrap. So it wasn't like he got like a front bumper. Like he spent some money, so he knows what it feels like and what he would expect the car to look like
When you
if
spend
he
that
were
much
spending
money.
that much money.
Yeah, that's
so
a lot of money.
it helps with the dynamic at the shop because you know, you saw how many cars are in there. I'm not perfect, so I'll miss a thing or two, like checking the guys on something. John will see it, help me out with it. So it's nice to have eyes like that from the customer perspective. And to answer your question for the sales to management thing, it helps the client get the best experience possible. That's just the easiest way to put it, because there's a lot of eyes over the product, and everybody is able to kind of work towards making the client happy. And then that one point of contact is perfect. Because if you're calling 3 or 4 different people, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of our customers get confused because we have like 2, 3, 4 people communicating with them sometimes.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, and they'll come in because we have a business line, which is an app called Sideline. So like 8 of our guys, we share it.
Nice.
So we have one phone number where all of our techs can text a customer, oh, we're heading over right now. So there's not like multiple different phone numbers, which is nice. The other flaw is like we have a secretary, then there's me and Rob that reply to customers. And let's say someone's talking to a customer, they come in, like, oh yeah, I was talking to somebody. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and so
that happened to us a lot. And I was actually going to ask you guys your experience on that, because you guys have grown the detail side of that, like kind of how we have on the PPF side. And we found that having too many people involved in the basket of like basically too many chiefs, it was a problem. We have now a set line that Bozeman, that John pretty much overlooks. So anything, like I have a lot of my old clients that we used to work with consistently. We still obviously do their cars, but what we would do is now when they reach out to me, I just respond with, yeah, of course, we'd love to help you. Let me have my sales manager reach out to you right away. He's actually in charge of that now. And now what it does is it funnels everything to one place. And then now if he's going on vacation or something happens, he could just leave me his phone. And I could handle it, or Alex could handle it. We'll still have people from the dealership hitting up Alex or hitting me up randomly on different things, or from Tesla or different places. But it's more manageable, or I'll forward it to him if John's not busy. That's what we found is the best, because when you have too many people involved, it does get confusing.
Especially when they're dropping off a car and they're like, I'm here. And you're like, I don't know who you are.
I have an appointment. Do you now?
Yeah, that does happen, which is kind of, it does get stressful sometimes, because sometimes you'll get like 3 cars dropped off at the same time.
Exactly.
And one of them just scheduled like 10 minutes ago. So you're like,
dang.
no idea who you are.
Yeah,
See,
so
you guys have that quick schedule where they can show up for us. It's like, it's a little different. And
It's impossible to show up to you guys.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we're booked out. We've been really good because of the amount of guys we have, where we could typically get people in within a week.
Oh, that's
to
awesome.
A week and a half at
Yeah,
the most.
before it was like months because it was
At
just
Audouin,
me.
we were booked up 4 months.
3-4 months at a time.
At
Yeah.
a time.
Oh,
And it was kind of crappy because we pushed away a lot of clients. We got a lot of clients instead.
Because nobody wants to wait that long.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean
That's unreasonable.
Yeah.
it's
3-4
unreasonable.
months.
yeah,
And
3-4
that's-
months you could get rock chips all in the front of
Dude,
your car.
so many rock
yeah,
chips.
You could get
So
a
many
new
rock
car
chips.
in 4 months.
Yeah.
We had like 1 or 2 clients that had to like end up getting a bumper sprayed because they wait like
That
within
long.
that period they paid their deposit and then something happened or
Felt
whatever.
horrible
man.
about that, and that's
Yeah.
where we realized our business model had to change, and we either needed to bite the bullet and expand.
Increase
and
that volume. That was the
increase
same thing for
volume and
me.
lose
Every time we
money.
said no to a customer, it was like, that's money going away.
going to
It's
someone else,
literally
you know?
walking away.
Yeah, it's just like they're gonna go somewhere else, and some people don't want to wait a day.
Yeah.
They want it done in there, and that's what's nice about having the
Wholesale
shop,
buyers. Yep.
you know. And it's just like just drop it off.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time. So we have we have 2 secretaries. One's Rob's wife. We have another girl. But it's hard for them to gauge it. But for like me being me, I'll say yes to everything. I'll just fucking at it.
Drop it off.
If I drown and die, I'll die. I'll die. You know what I mean? Just drop it off. Have them drop it off. We're gonna finish it.
We'll figure it out.
We
Yeah.
got 2 pressure washers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna get it done. You know. And there are
I'm
times
very
where it's just
similar
like,
to you as well. I'm like, hey, I'm very like, since I think because we built our companies up and we put so much work into it, you're like, hey, when it's here, I'm taking it, because
Yeah.
a lot of people will be like very passive. with
Yeah.
it. Oh, it's fine. We can't get you in. Sorry, we'll get you in next week.
yeah.
Well, then that's where the customer, like, if you give that attention to the customer, they'll usually appreciate it.
I think that's what's helped me out a ton when I first started the business. Like I would talk to you guys about at the very beginning. My first few years was like I was working every day. You know what I mean? As a starting business owner, there's no days off because you're forced to take days off when there's no customers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't take any days off. I'm like, well, like Monday and Tuesday I didn't have any clients, so like I had to take it off. So like I have
Double-edged
to,
sword.
yeah. So I have
Yeah.
to work the
Yeah.
weekends, like you know, like I have to make up for that. Then after that, I just got used to working every day. But being available at any time helped me out a ton. I gained so many like regulars now,
Yeah.
just because I said yes that right then and there.
Yeah,
you know?
and you're right, because you know what I noticed too, exactly what you said was, in the beginning, it's a double-edged sword, because you have to work to get the client, right?
Mhm.
Once you get the client and you're busy, now you're picking up new clients, you have to work to keep the client busy.
Yeah.
And if you don't, buddy Mark calling, if you don't do that, then what ends up happening is you get put in a position where you either don't have anybody coming in and you wish you did,
Yeah.
or you're in a situation where you're working all the time and you're just exhausted. So that's that fine line of, that was the hardest thing for me to learn, was to be able to take a step back for a little bit while still getting things done, while still taking a step back and saying, okay, I can rely on the people put in place to do what they have to do, and know that I could trust them to do their job or to do it right.
Yeah.
That's a hard part. I'd say that was probably harder than growing the company as big as I grew it.
Yeah, I know it was really hard for you. I remember I was talking to you for years, and you were just always like, I just don't want other people doing the work. I don't want other people
Yep.
touching it. I don't want anybody else touching it. This and that. Just Brian and at most like Beaver,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. And
even then, when it was Beaver and Brian, I would still look over, even though
Yeah.
I trusted
Yeah.
them.
No,
And it
yeah.
was just because it was my name.
no, yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's like, if it's going out and it's not right, that's why to this day I'll get frustrated if there's something, even though
Yeah.
nothing's ever. And let me get this straight out: nothing will ever be perfect
No,
in the
yeah.
service industry. Detailing.
That's the secret to detailing.
Yeah,
Nothing's ever
everything's
perfect.
ever perfect, or PPF or tint, but we need to do our absolute best
Yeah.
to minimize as much of it as possible. And so I think that's where we have to use that team effort.
No, yeah, that's why I teach the guys, like, all right, guys, I know I like to make you guys work a little bit faster. We got to get the job done, but there's a bar. Like, there's a minimum, you
Yeah.
know?
Of like expectation.
Yeah, and it just depends on the situation. For you guys, it's always consistent, but for us, it's like, this car was thrash. So if it still looks like this, I'm kind of fine with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we spent 4 hours on this. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, we can't spend another 2 type deal.
Yeah, that was like yesterday. We had an
Yeah.
interior detail on like a work truck.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
And,
yeah, those are the worst.
You know, I have a little tech with me, and I'm like, hey, like this, there's no way this is ever going to be perfect. We're just
Right.
making it look
We're
like
gonna enhance it as much as we
90%
can.
better than it
Yeah.
was. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
there's going to be that dirt grime. It's probably been there for 2 years. Like
Right.
can't do
It's not
nothing
coming
about
off.
it.
It was
Yeah.
all vinyl floor, so, like, it stains, like,
Yeah, the
vinyl.
mineral deposit in the dirt is gonna start eating into the plastic
Right,
and the
yeah.
vinyl. So
Yeah, he was just
So
sitting there
ruining it.
scrubbing and scrubbing. I was like, hey, that it's done.
You're wasting time, yeah.
he puts a hole
Let's-
through it.
yeah.
scrubs so hard, he's like, it's
Let's
not
move
coming
on. Let's
out.
move on.
yeah.
I definitely feel like there's a good amount of like communication with the client though to let them know that too.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think that
100%.
like when you have a new guy that really wants to try hard and you're like, dude, listen, the client already knows it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, make it presentable, you know.
That's
Yeah.
hard to
That's
teach.
it.
For you guys, it's different. I always say it's different because you guys are perfectionists, especially when it comes to PPF, especially when you're charging that much. I'm charging $300. You know, you
Yeah.
guys are charging thousands. So for me, there's so many times where like, it's fine, guys, leave it alone. And then another car comes in, I'm like, oh, don't forget this. They're like, you told me leave it last time. I was like, a different situation.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, different
And
car,
a different
year.
different client too.
Yeah.
So like if we have a client that comes in and is extremely is cost savvy when it comes to everything, and he comes in and he says, what can I get for
This price,
800
yeah.
bucks or whatever price it may be?
Yeah.
And he does not care, like he just wants protection, but he doesn't want to spend money.
Yeah.
Then that's the type of client where we could say, okay, we have to allocate this much time, this type of install, you know, with
Yeah.
them. We'll obviously try to always push a little bit above that to give them a little bit more than they
Yeah.
paid, but we can't give the same time that my client just spent 8 to 10 grand on.
Yeah.
Because they deserve every bit and ounce of our
Absolutely,
energy
yeah.
to give them the cleanest, most perfect job possible, just because you get what you pay for. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can't pay for a Honda and drive a Porsche. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work like
Right,
that.
yeah.
And so you got to choose your battles.
Yeah, that's what's really hard. What was it? So like I introduced like, quick details, and that brings me back to like a lot of details of like big egos. A lot of them are like, oh, we're perfect detailers. It's gonna be perfect. It has to be the best or whatever it is, and they're just barely charging a few $100s.
Yeah.
And so that's why I introduced like the quick details. When you guys brought up refresh, I'm like, fuck, this is what I needed. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, because that quick detail is just like you have a 1-year-old car. You just want to spruce it up.
Yeah.
Slap on some refresh in there, clean it up, make it look nice. I do like a quick clay bar and polymer,
Yep.
you know, and that's like $200.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$200.
No, that's
Perfect.
literally
Cleans
half the
everything up
price
really good.
for like half the quality, because the next stage is like we're steam cleaning it, we're shampooing, extracting it. We're doing
Now
that-
you're putting in labor time.
Yeah,
Because
we're
now you
using-
gotta pull out machines. You got to pull out
we're
all
using
that.
using bleed. We're really clay bar, and then we're adding boost, which is like a ceramic seal, which is way more expensive than polymer.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so like little things like that.
Way more
And a lot of people would ask me, like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, actually, a lot of people don't care that much about their car.
Yeah.
They just want a little bit better. You know what I mean?
And I think that's one thing we've always commended about you guys, that me and him, and actually a lot of us have talked about, is you guys really done well. And I could say this compared to a lot of other people I've met, is you guys have done a great job at understanding your client. And that's kind of what we have done too, like on the PPF side. We know where we're going or where we're trying to target. You guys have known that too. And I think a lot of times the ego and detailers, they all want to just target exotic cars. They
I
all
hate
want
exotic.
Yeah, I hate
And I'm going to be
exotic
real
cars.
with you. When I started doing that, we were the same way. We were, I want to do exotic cars, just because you wanted the cloud of being able to post it on Instagram and all those
Yeah.
things. And now I could give two shits
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I do an exotic car.
You're
Matter
like
of fact,
Teslas
I'd
all
rather
day.
Yeah,
have
Teslas,
Teslas
all of them.
daily.
Bring them all.
Bring
Yeah.
Teslas and 911s.
There
I'm
it is.
totally good
All
with
of them.
that, because
They're
that's
just
our,
round.
yeah, that's our. I mean, we're really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the occasional, we still get the exotics constantly, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one of those things where they take more time, higher liability.
Yeah.
There's always that chance of a guy walking around falling and hitting something and
Oh,
damaging
yeah.
it, or
Carrying that can and
carrying that
nicking it.
can, nicking it, or it could be the littlest things on something like that.
Yeah, I get
And-
nervous.
Yeah,
But it's like a $200,000 car. They're gonna notice, like, no
Yeah.
matter
Oh
what.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you'd also be surprised too. A lot of those guys do not care about those cars.
Oh, really?
I mean, we've had $2-3 million cars in there that we just don't
Sheesh.
post and tell people about, because of the fact
The
that
liability of.
we purposely have told
Yeah.
the clients, and I've literally had a meeting with we had to get together in the center of the shop, and I said, we cannot post this car. Why
Yeah, do
not
not?
take a
Everybody
picture,
wants to
nothing.
post
Don't
it.
put this on your
Do
Snapchat.
not post
yeah.
it until
Not
the
even
car
close
is
friends,
gone.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once the car is gone, we could post it, because
Somebody's gonna know.
Yeah.
They want to come by and
Ford
whatever.
custom Ford GTs, a lot of Ferraris, all kinds of cars that are extremely rare, and you just don't want people to know they're there.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Especially because your shop is like all glass and you can see it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the tint helps a little bit, but at night you can definitely see anything. But yeah, honestly, it's you guys run a business, and I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of detailers get stuck in their head with the clout,
Yeah.
the wanting it to be perfect and everything. And remember, whatever you see on Instagram, obviously, is just
Yeah.
what they want to put out there. So you could see like someone on Instagram looks like the most high-end detailer, but you actually get work done by them, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's not the same.
Yeah.
but that's, I mean, You get for what you pay for, and the quick
Yeah.
detail, that's great. That's great. That's a good price point, and like I said, you're a business, so like you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to make money. So, and there's a lot of those customers that aren't going to spend $600-700 for a detail.
They don't
Yeah.
want it.
They don't
yeah.
want it, and sometimes cars don't need it. Like
Yeah.
No,
you
yeah.
could spray a little bit of extract on a carpet, wipe it up, and it looks brand new.
Use
You
a
don't have to
carpet drill
saturate it
brush
with use
or
a
a
drill brush.
tornado tool, and
Tornador,
it'll
all
do
that
most
stuff.
of it for you.
Tornador, my
Yeah.
favorite.
Clutch.
Literally, you just
Dude,
gotta
best thing
use.
ever.
Yeah.
Let the chemical. We've done the work
Yeah.
on the chemical to make the life a lot easier for people. And they just have to be smarter and not.
Yeah, that's
not
what I had to
work harder.
teach the guys a lot. Is a lot of people are still stuck in the mentality, like a lot of detailers too, is like you just have to put more elbow grease, and I was like, well, you gotta also let the chemical do the job.
Do the
Yeah.
job,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Especially with like
Lift or
well, so my biggest one is bleed. That's like one of the most expensive ones.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You know, right?
It's
I
the
see
most
people-
expensive when it comes to surfactant and formulation that you
Yeah,
can get.
but I see people they spray it and they just let it sit and they rinse it off, and I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a waste of money.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna
At
use
least
that,
spread
use
it out.
non-acid.
Yeah.
And we try to educate people on that all the time. But the minute someone walks out of the store or from buying from online I can't control what they do. you
Yeah.
know? I've had detailers call me in the past. Why'd you guys let this guy buy ceramic coating, or why did you? And it's like, dude, if that was the case, we would sell 5 bottles a year and we'd
Yeah.
be screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the truth is yes, we want to control who it goes to, and we want to make sure that it's people that we admire and knowledge and know that they have the right knowledge and passion to do the work. But at the same time, the brand we've put in the work and the effort to make it usable for anybody. So not only is it geared towards high-end professional detailing, but it's very similar to being able to be used for that car guy. Let's say they call Curbside and say, hey, I want a good detailer or coating. You guys do the coating, but this guy's really passionate about his car and he wants to just wash it on the weekends occasionally and just hit you guys up for that quarterly touch-up on everything. Then cool, have him come in, buy some Avalanche, and he'll enjoy it because it's easy to use and all those
Yeah.
things, and he could use polymer, and he's going to be super satisfied with the results compared to something from Kragen or AutoZone,
Absolutely.
or just a big name brand that's kind of diluting their products at times. So yeah, that's kind of why we did what we did.
And all of our products, we wrote all our instructions on there.
Yeah.
So
It's perfect.
if you feel
It's
like
not
it's
enough.
not
Oh my
working,
gosh.
please read the bottle
Yeah.
because I promise you it works. Just read the
Yeah.
instructions. We actually typed out all that, like the description,
gosh, it
all that
took
stuff.
so
It took
much
for
time.
forever.
Try to dumb it
And
down.
It wasn't necessarily that. That's when Steven was working with us, and he
Yeah.
still does label stuff for us. And
Yeah,
Steven's
still
a big
a
help.
huge part of our, even though he's not in the day-to-day stuff with us, it's funny because I contacted label companies all the time, and because I'm really picky about my labels and I'm constantly trying to improve them and stuff. And
Steven's on another level.
Steven was on another level. I mean, I could legit say he shit on a lot of the companies I saw do send me a
designed
label
them.
design.
Oh, wow.
100%
Our
on
labels
Illustrator.
were
Wow.
110% designed at Auto Envy there between Steven, me, and Brian.
Yeah.
Like he did the actual back end designing, overlapping of patterns, all these different things, and then
Wizard.
Brian.
Yeah, it looks
knew-
sick, yeah.
And then I kind of knew in my head what I wanted, but I didn't know how to put that on a digital
Dude,
That's
scale.
nice,
We
yeah.
gave
So
Anthony
then
so many different
they were
drafts and
throwing it at me,
iteration.
and I was like, throw that away. I don't like that. I don't like
You're like,
that.
hate
and
it,
then
hate it,
Brian's
hate it.
like, this looks sick, and I was like, I agree. I don't like that though. Let's do this. So it was
Yeah.
like it took forever, but now we have a label that it's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot cleaner than most. And
Yeah.
what's nice too is that it's really unique.
It's
It's
really cool to
extremely
hear
unique.
like the actual heart, like speak to you guys and hear like the heart and soul of like the actual company and how much you guys care about everything from just the labels all the way down to the actual product itself. It's really cool to hear.
Yeah, people really sleeping on Auto Envy for sure. No, so I always, forever and ever, and still do recommend you guys' products. I'm so glad the
We
website
appreciate
finally
that big
opened
time. Thank you. And
because people would ask
getting
me and I
busier
go, I
now.
don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I have people from different countries ask
Yeah.
me for you guys' product. I can't help you for the longest time.
Yeah.
From different states because, I mean, we don't have that many followers. We're at like 7,000 right now, but I feel like half of it are detailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we try to post consistently, and they're always asking us like, "What are you using? What are you using? What are you using?" And I always say, "You guys," and so I'll hopefully
No,
start
that
ordering.
helps. We really appreciate it. We've actually started to get, ever since the website's been up, we've been getting a lot of orders now, or more orders coming in from different parts of the state.
Nice.
So that's
yeah.
been great, and the name's getting out there. But we also don't want to saturate it out there, like from that standpoint of, we don't want to be like some of these other brands have been, where they just throw it everywhere, and then the quality drops because they're mass producing it so much, and they're
Right.
not
Yeah, we
checking
won't be able to
everything.
keep up.
Like you guys would have no idea. We have our chemist is literally, I could say, out of the best in the industry, and I'm so proud and happy to be working with them with making our stuff because everything's custom formulated for our stuff, and it's not just a stock formula on a
And
lot
they
of
love
base
that we're
stuff.
picky too.
And they love that we're picky. They actually
Yeah.
say that we're probably one of the most picky, if not the most picky, out of all their clients, and they do stuff for some big names.
I do want. Okay, so I do want to say this just for you guys. All right. So even from talking all the years we've talked about, even Brian, Anthony. So you guys' products are fucking amazing.
Right.
I do love them. They're great. They smell great. They work great. But do you guys still agree that almost all like products are roughly the same
I would say
in a sense? Obviously, you guys are better, but there's like it's 10% better.
so. It's like
what I mean?
this is my best way to put it. Is I think that all of them from a base are very similar, but the problem is that it takes that extra testing and adjustment to make it work
And-
right. Like
what it is.
there's a lot of good detail products out there, but a lot of those companies don't take the extra time to ask questions and dumb it down for their customers too. Like they'll make like a really high end like wax with ceramic in it or something like that, and they won't actually test it in direct sunlight, mobile. You know what I mean?
Nice,
and like
yeah.
actually try it. So yeah, the majority of products like from any chemist or any company are very similar as far as the
Yes
base
and no.
goes. Yeah, it's a yes
Yeah.
and no, but
and
it's the
I-
quality of the product, like the ingredients used and that extra testing that makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me put it this way, in layman terms and people will say, well, yeah, you own AutoEnvy. Of course you're going to say that. But I could prove it to you. Matter of fact, and I say this in a very humble way. You could have a guy use a product, and then I could use a product, and it'll be a complete different result.
Yeah.
Okay, and what I mean by that is that kind of goes both ways. So yes, you're right, some products are very similar, but honestly, sometimes it's more the education of the installer using it than it is just the product. But that
Absolutely.
being said, if it was both people of the same skill level using the same product, you
that's the
will
difference.
notice a little difference, and
Yeah.
you will, because like I've seen it happen, and then I've also seen people tell me, oh, this product works better than this, and deep inside they don't realize that the product is
I used to
very
hate
similar.
Katana
Yes, correct.
until Brian came
I
in that
remember
one
you
day.
told me
Yeah.
that.
That
He used
Brian
to text
literally
me and say,
spent
"Bro, I
2
can't
hours
get
with
Katana
us.
to
Yeah.
work," and I
That was the
like,
best
"We
time.
just
We had
need
so
to
much
train
fun.
you." That was a
Yeah,
good
you literally
line
spent.
over there.
It's because you dropped off the light for us.
Yeah.
And then we were polishing your car, and you're like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" I was like, "I don't understand Katana, dude. I don't understand. It sucks. All right, like it's taking forever." And he's, "Oh, just let me show you." And
Break
just
it
literally
down all the
that
way.
1 hour, 2 hour training with him changed our lives.
Yeah,
Our-
it was like a whole new round. We were like, this is the
What?
best thing ever made.
That's how paint correcting with him when we started working together.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really formally trained in paint correction, like at all.
That was a question that I had as well. Is
Yeah.
Just kind of get your backstory on how you got in with AutoEnvy and how that all started for you.
Yeah, so I started detailing. Mario and I used to be partners at Class Act Mobile Detail, so him and I used to work together. And then Anthony and I had always talked about like joining up or partnering or like working, and it just kind of all worked together because he needed someone to do a detail for him
Yeah.
at his house. So I knocked it out for him, and he's like, "This looks like I did it." So we started doing more work like that. But the actual training that he gave me, like doing paint correction, like dumbed everything down.
Yeah.
Like, and it's actually way simpler than you think. And the second you start overthinking paint correction or anything, it's overkill.
That's where I fall into. Sometimes I'll like be doing a paint correction and I just keep overthinking things, and then I'll watch him. He'll just come and do like one panel real quick, and I'm like, shit, I've just been like,
I kind of feel like Brian and Anthony sometimes when I'm at the shop.
yeah.
It's just because I have the most experience, but
Right.
but it was mostly
I remember training you in my garage.
dude. Oh man, so
Oh,
if you guys
dude,
don't
that
know,
black Camaro.
Anthony was the first person to ever train me,
Yeah.
and I remember it was at his house because they didn't have room in the shop yet. It wasn't built yet.
Yeah.
And so so I meet him
Yeah,
at his
hoods,
house. He
we
goes,
were
"All right,
sanding,
I got my
everything."
buddy Brian in there. We call him O'Connor." And he's, it's literally all the lights are off. The only thing that's on is the scan grip. He opens the garage. I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
It's like a dungeon in there.
Yeah,
People are like,
exactly.
why would you guys correct?
Yeah,
defects
Brian
in the
just has
door?
his headphones in. He's just
Blowing.
opening the
going.
garage didn't phase him. He goes, "I'm gonna fucking finish this panel." And like he finished it. He goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And so Anthony did the training with me. But seeing you guys work together, so that black Camaro we worked on, Man,
My buddy David's. I love that guy with all my heart, but his Camaro was a nightmare.
Absolute nightmare.
Actually, he's still one of my good friends who texts me all the time, and I love that dude. He's such a good
Yeah.
guy.
Really good customer.
And
Good friend of the shop.
it was literally, you guys, would you the worst like car to work on?
yeah,
Just-
I would say that was top 2 or top 3 worst car situations I've ever gone through because there was multiple things going on. So it wasn't. I mean,
It was the
I would
coding too.
Yeah, I would consider myself pretty advanced when it comes to understanding the chemistry and installing on ceramics and different type of catalyzers and ceramic technologies. And when when you're leveling off certain surfactant levels or you're dropping certain reactors in that product that will cause flashing to change, I'm pretty good at changing on a fly, right?
Yeah.
Well, that situation, we were using a product from a bigger name because at the time I hadn't had our brand fully going or anything.
Yeah, that was years ago. That was
We were
like
using
5 years ago.
Yeah, a big brand name for coatings at the time. Good stuff. Still respect that company, but they came out with a pretty interesting, very ahead of its time, advanced formula, and sure enough, we decided to put it on the softest, most finicky clear I've ever seen, black, jet black,
Yeah.
which we had already took into a ridiculous gloss and perfection level. I mean, that car was probably 99.
We jeweled the shit
Oh
out of
yeah,
it.
you did. You
It was-
jeweled
That's
it with
when
the rotary.
that's when you first taught me how to jewel, and I was
So,
like,
most
oh,
guys,
man, I don't know how I feel about this.
That's what we
Look
always tell
perfect.
people
Yeah.
is everybody, these days in 10 minutes I could show anybody how to be a good detailer and cut and polish paint with the Rupes. Rupes has made detailing almost almost dumb easy to where
Yeah.
you could get a
that Mark
5-year-old to
III
do
is
it.
the best.
Yeah, but back
Yeah.
in the day, when I started, it was rotary polishing. So
Yeah.
you could tell if a guy knew what he was doing, if he could finish out pure black soft paint
Yeah.
or ultra finicky paint with the rotary and finish it flawlessly. So that car, the minute you hit it with a DA with all kinds of different pad options and products, and I even went down and started using the Kevin Brown method, which I learned a lot of what I know from Kevin Brown and NXT training at McGuire's with the very advanced training they used to have. I did that a few years in a row. Some of the best detailers in the world were going to that. It was like 35 of us going to that and learning with Larry Casilla and all those
Yeah,
guys
MLC,
and all.
yeah.
And you had a bunch of just extremely over the top anal guys trying to learn every square inch of detailing when they were there, picking each other's brains. And the big thing from that was it taught me how to diagnose paint and how to simplify and dumb things down.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing they did was ever stop doing those now. They don't offer them anymore because it was expensive and they were gathering the best of the best from all areas around the country. and
It's
putting them in one
interesting you
room.
talk about that because you trained with some of the not just the best, the most popular detailers on the internet and that we know of, people know of. They just don't know of you because you don't make YouTube videos.
Yeah,
You literally
I-
trained with the best of the world,
So the
which is
manufacturers
crazy.
know me,
Yeah.
right? So we'll like all the pad manufacturers, all the guys that we did a lot of demo and product testing, and like we've helped with a lot of the pads that you guys probably have no idea that have even been out there. We were in testing and developing them before they even launched. A lot of those guys I know, a lot of the blenders manufacturers, all those guys, they all know who we are, but I really didn't want people to know who I was,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. I know, detailers have everybody, they want them to know who I am. I could care less.
Yeah.
For me, the less people know of me, the better, because I could keep concentrating on what I have to do, and then and just keep moving forward.
Yeah,
you
nice.
know?
Yeah, I think that was always cool when you first telling me those stories because you didn't just train with them once, but a few times. All these big detailer names. Like I was like, oh shit, because I used to watch YouTube videos all the time, trying to learn, the game itself, but learning from you without even realizing at that time was like, oh, I was already training with one of the best. That
It was like a cheat code
Yeah,
that you didn't even know you were using.
Yeah, Anthony's a legit cheat code that I took advantage of, and I didn't even know why, what it really was at that time. I just knew oh, Anthony's really good. I just want to learn from him. He's he's a really nice guy.
I appreciate that. And there's always stuff I could learn. I'm still always constantly trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
and I'm always on top. And that's what I always tell people is I don't care who you're learning from, if they're renowned right now and people are talking about them. There's always more you could learn. So
Yeah.
if you start thinking, I learned it all from this guy, it's done, you're already behind.
No, yeah.
Because the minute you start putting yourself in that mindset, it's over. That's like with us. I'll hit up people that, like, as an example, let's say I meet a brand new detailer. He could come at me with a certain technique or something, and I'll listen because, hey, maybe he might have 10% of a difference of him doing it could be a better result. I'm gonna hear him out.
Right.
You know, and then we could use a combination of my technique with his technique and get. So if you constantly think that your way is the only way, you're already defeated.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
always
what a
trying to
lot of
improve.
detailers do, and I
Yeah.
always try to help. But then you have to be careful because a lot of them don't like to be told
what to
certain
do.
things, and then especially locally, you know,
Yeah.
you'll have a lot. We're very fortunate. We have a lot of them that support us, but then we have a lot of them that'll try to go opposite just because they want to go against the
Yeah,
grain.
just
Haters
because
gonna hate.
Haters
Yeah.
gonna hate.
It's an
100%.
interesting industry if you think
It is
about
weird.
it.
It's
Because like
very
we
weird.
all buy products from like the same spot.
Yeah, we've
we
all
all
helped.
like each other kind of.
There's a click.
And
There's
like,
a click for sure.
It's like a click, but like we're all competing for business at the same time.
Yeah.
So this like industry is so unique versus
It's-
others.
So like when I first started, the best advice Anthony ever gave me was that there's no competition because there's so much like work out there. There's not enough detailers. And so from that point, I go, oh, so there's nothing to worry about. All I have to do is just work harder than everybody else and get as much as I can.
And no one's
try to
taking
expand.
food off your table,
Yeah.
basically.
No.
Exactly,
There's
yeah.
food over
100%.
everywhere.
Which is like really cool. So I never felt guilty. I never felt like I'm cheating somebody. I'm just like, okay, I just want to work harder than everybody. I
And
just
see,
want to do more.
I always did. That was my thing. Is I was like, I want to help them, but I don't want to ever take from their pie because I knew the pie was huge, but I also knew that detailers were very close-minded a lot of times.
Yeah.
Not because they wanted to be, but because that's what the industry kind of like pushed you into at times.
It's weird.
And so it was like
It's so
I was
weird.
I was always in that mindset of like we have to empower them, we have to show them that hey, dude, Fresno County, and it's more than just Fresno. I mean, and I could say this
It's
because
everywhere,
we've had
yeah.
we have people delivering cars from Los Angeles in trailers. We have people coming from San Francisco. We've had exotic cars trailers from multiple places around
Yeah.
California to us, right? And even when we were at Auto Envy in a much smaller location, we had Teslas coming from San Francisco,
Oh, yeah.
Visalia from different places.
Sacramento.
You have so many cars out there that if you just worry about one thing and one thing only, that's yourself, and pushing yourself to constantly be better than the last day, then you will be fine. Because another thing I did that was probably the best thing I did was, it was best and worst, I stayed away from social media a lot.
Yeah.
So to this day, now I barely will check stuff just to make sure guys are responding to messages from clients
Keeping
and things like
tabs.
that. But you don't see me on my personal end or even on the business end posting a lot unless it's like something for the company.
Yeah.
And I do
products.
that on purpose because when you get really caught up in social media and you're not using it for the right thing, social media will really affect you. I don't care how strong-minded you are, it affects people without them realizing it because
Yeah.
let's say you spend an hour or 3 hours a day looking at what the other detailers in town are doing.
Yeah.
Guess what? That was 3 hours a day that you wasted that you should have been figuring out how you're going to advance your company,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's why I really haven't done that. And it's probably helped me. I'll still look. If you guys tag us in things, which we get tagged all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always do a quick look, make sure it's good, and we'll post it. But like I always, this is funny. I'll have to probably tell people on this. If people tag us on something and it's not showing an Auto Envy product, I'm sorry guys, I can't post it. You know, and I love you guys and more power to you guys, but the truth is
Just trying to take your followers.
from a
Repost
business
for the clout.
standpoint, like I can't do it because I can't be sharing a competitor's product as much as we love
yeah.
and we will help our competitors and be there. It's just it doesn't make sense, and we will, you know, if it's not involving the business, we can't share it. So
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
On
We
the-
get some weird tags.
I
dude.
guess
have-
we get some weird tags.
I have
really
to
weird
explain
tags.
that all the time on via message.
Yeah, someone will be like, "Why don't you repost my stuff?"
Yeah,
and I'm
hey,
like, "Dude."
how come you don't give me love and repost? I'm like, dude, you're not even posting chemical. You're just posting a picture of a car.
Or just
Yeah.
like the car, like the side shot of the car with like nothing in it. It's
No,
like there's
yeah.
no context to it at all. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, all right, that's pretty cool. It's glossy.
Or it'll have,
Looks good.
you know,
Glossy.
music with a lot of profanity. And,
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect. I cuss. I probably cussed on this thing, but
Yeah.
from a business standpoint, I don't like that image.
Keep it professional for sure.
Understandable.
No. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah.
So I'm
that's
gonna
one of
keep
those
tagging
things.
you guys in my videos with all the best
Just
It's
random
like at
tags.
home eating noodles. And
Yeah.
it's like Auto Envy hashtag.
Come on.
New Auto
Hey,
Envy product.
Yeah. I know.
Polymer Plus.
Auto Envy ramen.
Yeah, I don't know if you ramen.
Man.
Yeah, so that's awesome. But let me ask you a question. So,
Yeah.
what made you get into this? I know you always had a passion for.
For the Kung Fu school?
Mm-hmm.
So for the Kung Fu school, I've been doing it since I was like 12, so like 18 years now. My Sifu, which is like my master teacher, he retired last year, and we knew he was coming retirement. He's supposed to retire at 65, but he pushed it to 70. And so he retired last year, he turned 70, or this year he turned 70. And me and one of the other students, who also taught me when I was younger, decided like, oh, let's just open a new one because we want to like, keep it alive. If he retired and nobody took anything out of it, it's like, what happens if you're gone? Does Auto Envy just shut down type deal? You know what I mean? It'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, and I've talked about that, and it's funny you say that because I'm constantly thinking about that.
Yeah, and so we planned it for the past few years. Like, all right, we're gonna try to open another one of our own. Then I already had my kids, and so having my daughter here was really great. But I've always loved it. I love teaching
It's
it.
your passion. Too.
Yeah, teaching is all. I've been teaching since I was like 16, because one of the criterias for like our system was like when you get to a certain level belt, it's like you should get to a point where you can teach it.
Yeah.
It's like imagine being an amazing detailer and you can't teach it. It's like how
And that
how,
is actually that's more common than you think. So it's funny because I've seen a lot of detailers that are great detailers, but they have really trouble articulating and passing that information down to the next person.
just keep that communication.
Yeah, and it's not easy because teaching people, you have to dumb it down to almost like 5-year-old basics, and it's not that they're dumb or anything. It's honestly it's not, but some people learn different. Like me,
Yeah.
I'm a hands-on learner.
No, yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can tell me, Anthony, make sure you apply 4 dots of this and 6 dots of this, and just go to the panel. I'm probably it's gonna go in one ear out the other. But if I see you do it, or if I grab it myself and do it once, I will always know how to do it.
Yeah, it's funny. So when it comes to polishing, like the guys are this 99% of the guys are like that. They just don't understand, and so like even to say after teaching them like I'll show them like, oh, this is hard, this is medium, this is light pressure, and then you can hear the machine differently.
Yeah, the speed and the
Yeah.
variable speed adjust.
But that's easy for us. Then I look at them and like, you know what? So I have to grab their hand while they're polishing and like, this is medium, this is hard. Can you feel that? Like, yeah. And it's like they just have to like feel it because they don't know what it feels like because we've done it so many times. I've burned paint.
That's like when people are doing like a pass in
Yeah.
the crosshatch. I'll have to like when we've done trainings in the back, I'll hold onto the machine and
Yeah.
be like, nope. And they're like, can I move it yet? And I'm like, nope, just slow or
Yeah,
just
slow.
keep
It
going
takes
slow.
time.
Or,
Faster. And that's why we even use a lot of I'm sure you'll remember when we first did some training, I would use the marking on the backing plate on the Rupes machines because that's a
the lines.
perfect indicator.
No,
Having
yeah.
those lines, if they're thick enough and they're clean enough, you could actually see. I always, like for me, I'm a very analytical guy. It doesn't matter if I'm golfing, working, doing chemistry stuff
you golf?
for the business. I am a pretty avid golfer. Started 2 years
This
ago. and
this
have
guy's been
nonstop.
golfing like nonstop.
dude, what's
I started
why don't we golf? What
7
is
months
this?
I
ago.
almost didn't come
I
to see
started
you
last
guys,
year.
and I went golfing
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah,
I started last year, so
7 months ago I started. I love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
So-
it's such an addicting. I mean, I could talk about
Okay,
that
so
for 4 hours.
I feel like all 4 of us are almost the same type of people. We all have addictive personalities
Yes.
and OCD.
Yeah,
And Rob's been trying to convince me to do golf, and I go, no. He goes, why not? He goes, because I'll be addicted to it.
and I'm
Yeah.
addicted.
I watch golf videos.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Rob will watch golf videos all the time, so I'm at home and I see a video. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm watching, like, different techniques and swings. I'm like, I don't even play.
dude,
but I'm
first
a
time he
watcher.
goes out there, he's like
It's-
12 under.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's funny because I've been playing going on 2 years now, and my goal, and I actually have a month and a half to complete it. My goal was, and this sounds wrong, but I'm very competitive in things, and I'm used to mastering everything I really dedicate my mind to.
No,
Yeah,
And the reason I love golf is because it challenges me every single time.
every shot.
Every shot's a challenge, right? And I'm very over analytical, so I try to go to a checklist, and sometimes in golf that affects you because you can't have too many thoughts. It
Yeah.
has to be natural. But my goal was shoot 70s within
Okay.
the first 2 years.
Are you
And
close?
I'm at 80, 81.
Whoa, dude,
you
that's
know,
crazy.
I'm at like a solid 120.
Dude, my goal is to break 90, and I
You'll do
just
it.
shot 107. So I
Oh,
was like,
dude,
yeah, I'm getting close. Let's go.
You'll get there. You'll get there. And I have about a month and a half, and if it means that I gotta go,
Play
gotta
more.
go play 4 or 5 times a week for an hour at a time, and I'm gonna do it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna stop until I hit 70s consistently. And so much so that I just put a mini putting hole thing in the back of my backyard.
Yeah, nice.
And
Hell
so my putting's getting better and all that stuff, and I'm super competitive, and a lot of business clients, well, I golf with them.
Nice.
So,
That's real cool.
and I can't go out there and get beat by them. I mean, I'm okay with getting beat by a few of them. My buddy Chad's ridiculously good. He was like 3rd in the nation or something
Oh,
at
okay.
one point.
Yeah.
And he's really
Not even
good.
fair.
Dude. Yeah, but I love playing with guys that are better than me.
You
all
have
the
to.
time
Yeah, you
because
have to.
it forces me to get better. And my wife's like, you're psychotic. And
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're just over the top. You constantly have to be good at everything. And I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's about proving to myself that I can master what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's why I can't.
That's the same thought I
I'll-
have. Like, I have a net in my backyard. I got a putting green.
Yeah.
I got the little net for the
Dude,
chipping.
I
I
got
just
the
sit
net.
there.
Yeah.
You have to have the net.
The net in the backyard is clutch.
Yeah.
I'll
My
hit
dog
it.
hates it, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, so it's a super fun. Now it's funny because in my head this is another thing I wanted to talk about before we get done is I think as detailers the biggest advice I could tell and I could ask them to constantly be thinking about is think about the next plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think detailers make the mistake of planning on detailing for the whole life, and you can't. The truth is if you're going to do it, yes, you can do it, but you have to start planning and prepping for that. And I think that's one thing Lund's done a great job at is prepping himself by setting up his business with partners like yourself and other people to have that business be able to run itself at some point
Yeah.
with not constantly being there every square minute. That being said, when you have other people running things, and Brian could attest for this, it's not going to always be perfect
Right.
because other people's standards aren't always going to be exactly to yours. But at some point, God forbid, you get sick, something happens, you have to be able to have a backup plan. You have to have those things. And I think a lot of detailers are so stuck in, I'm just going to move on to the next car because I was when I was mobile detailing and doing
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
I just got to move on to the next thing and the next thing. And then what happens if you can't get to that next thing? What happens if the economy changes?
Right.
You have to start mentally looking at other avenues to make money. I think him doing the Kung Fu thing is great. I'm constantly doing that. I have a few other things in the works right now. And I think detailers should constantly be not just over analyzing and sticking and thinking that they only are going to stick in the detail industry because
No,
it's
yeah.
a very adaptive and this industry changes so fast
Yeah.
that you have to be willing to adapt and change on the fly.
It's like when I did teppanyaki back in the day.
Dude, why don't you keep
Why?
doing
Yeah,
that?
why did you stop that? What is that?
I was getting so Rob knows. Literally, we work like a 10-hour day detailing cars all day in the summer. I'm like, Rob, we gotta go and prep food. He goes, what? I go, yeah. I was like, okay, let's go. We just like cutting vegetables and don't get home till like 10 and clean up, shower, go to sleep, and wake up at 7:30 and do that all over again. Sometimes we did like 2, 3 a week,
Yeah.
like 3 days in a row of teppanyaki, and I was
There's
like,
money in that though.
Dude,
Yeah, I was like,
curbside
I'm tired.
teppanyaki.
Yeah.
We'll bring it to the curb.
Yeah. We got you.
Teppanyaki curb.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing it again if I can stabilize the shop and the business. It's been slow. This was a terrible year for me.
Yeah, it was rough.
COVID year was way better.
COVID year was popping.
COVID year was the best.
Dude, it's because people were sitting at home. They're looking at their car and they're like, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
Well,
to
then-
do something about
No,
that.
it was also because like that COVID pay, people
Oh,
were
yeah.
like 3,
Oh.
4 grand a month.
When
Yeah.
you stimulate the economy, people are blowing money that they
Yeah,
that
dude,
they
we
don't
had like 2004
have.
Honda Civics getting full details. So like,
Bro,
you
we
want
had,
this
like-
Get a
knowledge?
full body wrap
Yeah,
on my
dude.
2004 Honda
Like
Civic.
2017 Honda Accords, like full body, just like, yeah, just wrap the whole thing.
Oh, we
I'm
had
like,
Miatas
dude.
coming in that were $30,000 getting like a $10,000-$12,000 package.
Jeez.
It's like, dude, it's almost half the price of your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
not
we
gonna argue
appreciate
with
it.
Yeah.
We do, but
Yeah, if you ever want to do the teppanyaki thing and you need an investor, I'm in.
you heard it here first.
See.
I'd want to do it right. though.
I've thought
Yeah.
about like better ways of doing it. You know?
I could tell
I've
you
thought
right
of so
now.
many
can
different
tell you.
ways. Yeah.
He's been sitting at home thinking
Okay,
about
hear me
teppanyaki.
out. You
I
get
just
the
don't want to
truck.
cook anymore.
You get the
Yeah.
truck and you put a mobile rig in it. So you do detailing and
I'm pretty
teppanyaki.
sure that's gonna
Cross contamination.
Oh, okay.
contamination. He has a Polymer Plus
Yeah,
right next
yeah.
to the hot spicy. It's
Whoops.
like-
Don't worry, it smells delicious
Yeah.
too.
I mean, yeah, I figured out. Yeah,
They're
that
like, my stomach feels hydrophobic. What's
Yeah.
going on?
I can't absorb anything.
The hot spicy is not sticking onto the steak, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was
no.
always fun.
No, it's
But-
yeah. We have to adapt. We have to be prepared. I'm constantly in overthinking mode, so I'm already like doomsday prepping. some
You're very
stuff.
conservative. I
Yeah.
know that. Ever since I've known you.
So
for a
I
long
was
time.
conservative for a really, really long time, and then the last year or two, I kind of went opposite of that because I realized that to grow companies, you have to spend money and do
Expand.
things and
Just
expand
risk a little
and buy
bit.
things, and have the write-offs and have certain things to make it happen. So I've been a little less conservative, and now I'm going back to conservative Anthony.
No, that's good though. Yeah.
But
you have
so
that
I
balance.
have a switch.
That's good.
And a lot of people don't have that. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
I could flip that switch, and that
Oh,
switch
I'm in
got flipped about
constant
a week
spending
ago.
money mode.
Yeah.
Constant. I mean, well, I grew year after year. First year truck and trailer, and then another year got
But that
busier.
van grew.
You
But
guys
then
did like
I
a
mean-
van a year for a
I
little
did get
bit,
a
right?
van a year.
Yeah.
I did
Year,
get a van a
basically.
year.
You bought
That was
my
cool.
van.
I bought both your vans.
That's true. I saw you
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Nice.
And we still have it.
That's
The,
so crazy.
the NV and the Transit, and then
Oh,
we
yeah.
bought
Yeah,
another
NV.
Transit.
I
So-
have another one. You want to buy one? No, I just bought this one.
Then we bought a Chevy that was just like the NV, but then we sold it because it was slow. But I made money off of it
Nice.
because of the
Yeah.
market. Like
Yeah.
I made $6,000 off of it.
That's
Oh, dang.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a ton.
awesome.
I bought it at auction. We probably made like 30, 40 grand from using it detailing mobile. And then it was sitting for like 3-4 months, and I was trying to sell it, and I was like, I don't know if I could easily buy it. So took it to CarMax. I bought it for 13 grand. Sold it for like 19.
That's awesome.
Dude, shout out CarMax. They
Yeah.
bought my truck for a good amount.
Yeah, and it's instant cash.
Yeah, they're like,
wrote me a
we'll
check.
give you this. And like
Yeah.
my dad and my girlfriend, we were all there and they both laughed. Like we're all laughing. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not real.
I've sold a few cars, a few Audis to them, and now, yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, there's been a
Yeah,
lot.
I want to train in my Ranger. I want to get a new truck. I want to get a 4-door. 'cause
Sell us
one's
that
just too-
delivery truck you guys have, and we'll turn it into it into a food truck.
There we go. Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to. That's one thing we're working on now. We're trying to add to another 1 or 2 delivery trucks.
Are you guys planning on like delivering up and down the state, like having a driver go, or like what's that sense, or?
I would like to.
Where's your next store?
I don't know. I've thought about dumping one in Ventura County,
Okay.
but
Ooh, competition.
we're thinking about trying to mix some things up and mix up some stuff and maybe
Cause a little ruckus?
drama. A little drama might not be a bad thing.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that. Ventura's a
Um,
busy detailing city.
I have
Yeah.
family out there actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So throw something out there, and I'd go run it part time out there. But we'll see. I don't know. The store thing, I don't think that's the way of the future, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
It's all line.
So I'm just going to continue to push online stuff, and then we're putting most of our energy in that, and then the trucks, our delivery trucks, that's our bread and butter.
Shout out Ruben.
Yeah.
Ruben's great.
He's our
He's a cool
main
dude.
guy. He's been with us for 24 years.
Holy smokes,
So,
yeah.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
That guy knows a lot of cool tricks too. Like
He's old
overall,
school, but he
dude.
knows
It's
stuff
the
that
way
a
he
lot of
talks
people
too.
don't know.
He has
Yeah.
a little like fast voice, but like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
so
cool guy,
we're
man.
probably gonna get another sales guy or two out there and just
Nice.
kind of go more.
we need to hire a sales
Low
guy.
cost.
Do you guys have like a sales guy for the products line, or?
So Ruben's our head sales guy on
Okay.
our delivery truck. He handles a lot of our big dealership accounts and car wash accounts, and then actually my pops is going to be coming on board,
Nice.
and him and I are going to start our second truck.
That's awesome.
I'm going to try to get him out of his job because he's a district manager for CalPac, which is a company that runs a lot of Pizza Huts. So he has like 15 restaurants he overlooks. So
Okay.
he just overlooks the managers. He's a district manager, and
Nice.
I'm just tired of him killing himself on that.
Yeah.
So I want him to be able to dictate his own schedule and kind of get him out of
Keep it in the family.
yeah. And something ever happens to me, it could be ran by somebody else.
Yeah.
And then have him kind of me and him. I'm gonna help him build it up, train him on everything, have that route, and then put somebody else in it, and
Yeah.
then get a second truck. And I kind of just want to continue to blow it up.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite thing about owning the business and being expanded like I have is just hiring a bunch of my friends and their friends' friends, get him out of a shitty job, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And it's
It's
like
good and bad.
yeah, that's true.
It's good and it's bad when you get to a big scale because, like for us, at our big shop, you get a bunch of friends working together and it's not always efficient.
It's
Oh
not
yeah,
always
we
work.
do
Yeah.
bullshit
And
all the
it's a-
time.
It's a big high school, and
Yeah.
and at times, it makes it really hard for an owner because I'm close with all of them.
Oh,
Yeah. But
and
you
it-
got to push
we
them
got to
sometimes.
push them, and
Push
then
that boundary.
sometimes at times because they see you like a friend, they don't really fully respect
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, and then when you have to do cuts because of the economy changing or things
Yeah.
changing, now who do you cut because
Right.
you're friends with them? So that's where you have to kind of put it back on the
A
guys.
little bit of a boundary
Yeah.
You
set
have to have
for
a
yourself
boundary,
as well.
and I had to start kind of pulling myself back from being too close with my guys, which
Oh.
sucked because I was really close with a lot of them, and start pushing back a little bit and saying, okay, I gotta keep my distance a little bit because when I have to make those hard
Playing
decisions,
favorites.
I gotta be able to make them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that's not easy to do.
That was
Yeah.
No,
definitely
yeah,
my
for sure.
biggest learning curve stepping into a management position from being like just an installer is understanding how to compartmentalize how you interact with your coworkers
Yeah.
and your friends
Yeah.
being in the same building. And
In fairness, he learned that from me of being like we were all kind of I treated everyone like family and friends.
yeah,
So
it's cool
he
working
took
for Anthony.
upon that
Yeah.
mindset, which wasn't a bad thing. But when you're in a smaller scale, it's okay.
Yeah.
But when you start growing to the way paint protection PPF has grown, PPF Fresno, it kind of you can't do that anymore as much because
Yeah.
you're in a situation now where you're relying on so many companies and people and customers are relying on you being efficient to get them their car back and doing things and quality and all those things that if it's just a friendship thing, it's like, hey, no worries, oh yeah, can you get on this? Oh, I'll get to it in a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's like, hey, I need you to get on it now because we have a deadline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is
So
no joking around right now. Yeah.
so it's some of that, but that's that tough thing where you get close with everyone you work with, and for us, they're all family. So hopefully you don't have to make those hard decisions, but if you do, you put it back on the employee.
Yeah.
It's on you. Don't mess up. Don't be late. Make sure you're getting your cars done on
We
time.
literally just had that yesterday. Like
yeah, so
3
if they
guys showed
mess
up
It's
yesterday.
on
and-
them.
Yeah.
Had to
They're
talk with
eliminating
everybody, yeah.
themselves, and then I don't have to feel bad about, hey, I had to let you go.
Yeah.
You did that to yourself because you weren't responsible.
We literally just told our guys this morning, hey,
This morning.
I don't fire people. You guys fire yourselves.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You can only show up late so many times.
Yeah,
Right.
like 3 days in a row showing up late. That's just
Or calling
Yeah.
in nonstop, or being hungover and not coming in, or
Yeah.
prioritizing everything else besides your job.
Especially because we're open every day. So, like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is, like, the time to call out.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and working for Anthony and Alex, they're very like no bullshit. Like
Yeah.
they let you do what you need to do. You
Yeah.
know, everybody has a life outside of work, but
We don't
Like,
micromanage them.
yeah,
But
from like 9 to
expect.
5, Monday through Friday, like
You're
give me
working.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can all be friends, whatever, hang out outside of work, but from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, we're not friends.
But
Yeah,
like a family
it's
emergency
time.
comes up for you, it's like, yeah, go take
Yeah,
care
no,
of it.
go do what you
Yeah.
gotta do.
No,
Absolutely.
yeah,
But, yeah.
absolutely. That's
Like somebody's
if
going to give
sick-
you
if
their all,
someone's
then
sick,
you can,
If it's
yeah.
someone's sick, if they got COVID, if their kids are sick, something like that, not a problem. But if it's, hey, I can't come in because I'm hungover,
Right.
or
That's,
hey, that's just you being
Irresponsible.
you're being a
Yeah.
teenager. Still.
Yeah,
Grow
You're being a
up.
bad, and if you're friends, like I tell the guys, if you guys are doing that, you're being a bad friend to me.
Exactly.
Like I'm not,
because
like
it's
I
like
don't
me
care.
saying, hey, it's payday. Hey, I'm hungover. I can't do your paycheck.
yeah.
How would you feel?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So then why?
That's
I'm
real
gonna
when
do
you
that.
put it like
I'm gonna
that.
use that one. I'm gonna use that one.
And so that's actually how I look at it now. So
Yeah.
now I went from being like super like, it's okay, it's not a big deal, to now I just get mad.
Yeah.
Not at them, like I don't strictly show, but inside I kind of get pissed because
Yeah.
I'm like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I did that to you and said, hey, I can't pay you, you would be furious and
Yeah.
you still have to pay your bills.
Or
Yeah.
you need the
So
help right
what
now,
about-
but
exactly.
I just, yeah, I
so
can't.
don't disrespect me. Let's work as a team. It's not about an ego. It's about us
Yeah.
working as a unit, and we rely on each other. Because just like you rely on me to pay your bills and be able to put food on the table for your family, I rely on you to be able to help me pay my bills and do the same for my family.
Right.
So let's make each other dependable.
Yeah, I'm super lenient at work too, but so it's nice having guys that come in who had work experience already, and they work here. Like, oh, this place is easy. Like, I'm just super like chill about everything. As long as you work. They understand how to work. It's hiring these new kids. Like, it's their first job, whatever it is, and I'm like, hey,
And new
you can go work at
generation.
any other job, and you're gonna fucking hate it, and you're gonna regret fucking up here. Like
Yeah.
we
We
work.
can promise you that.
Yeah,
Like, we've had enough
everywhere.
jobs
Yeah, work
where-
is work everywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
I'm
funny
just super
because
lenient.
I think people don't realize, like, I mean, some of them might now. I think he could attest to this because he oversees the guys and knows the guys. But I don't think how good our guys sometimes realize they have it.
Yeah.
You know. And
Yeah,
that's
I can
in
already
the
tell your
auto-
work environment's chill. I'm in
and,
there, they're
yeah,
just
in
like,
the auto NV side and in the paint protection side because we're pretty chill and like, hey, keep
You
you
should
guys.
see it on a hectic day though.
Yeah,
It's that dynamic is like full Metallica on blast,
Yeah.
like everything's on fire. Like
I love
It
that.
could get pretty
That's
crazy.
my favorite feeling
yeah,
in the
when
world.
it gets busy,
It's like when it's
the best.
drowning, like when we're drowning at the shop, I'm like in heaven.
Woo!
I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
But that's how I know that you. Now I know why you love golf. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're sick like me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is people like you and me don't come around often.
Yeah.
Me, you, like Alex is the same way. Like I said, me and him are super similar in a lot of ways. and it's people and Lund and Brian, just people that just look at things differently. So yeah, it stresses me out, but honestly, I am in my happy place.
Like when it's slow is when I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
dude,
God, I'm just
I'm
like,
going 400
my
miles
skin
an
is
hour
itching. Like
trying
I'm,
to figure out the next move.
yeah, it's nuts.
So it's like, yeah, dude, I think
Like everyone else at the shop on those busy days are like, oh my God, and me and him are like high fiving, like, yeah, we're doing it. Let's go do this, go do this.
Yeah.
Like one of my biggest thing, I wish Mark would get videos of it when we're busy. Is like when we're busy, when Rob and I are together, we're fucking moving.
Yeah.
Like there was one time we were busy. This guy was running to catch up with us, and we were just walking because we just walk fast naturally. We don't ever run, but he has to like run to catch up with us. But we just like it's so like smooth and synchronized to like I'm grabbing the pressure washer, he already turned it on for me.
Yeah.
I'm foaming it, he already got the wheels. I'm rinsing it, he's already drying the other side. Little shit like that, it's so fun. Like
it's
I'm like,
just efficiency.
yeah,
It's like
there's
you
no
guys-
communication, they're just understanding.
You guys are
Yeah.
like a fine-tuned sports, like a sports team that's
Yeah.
running on all.
But it's only
cylinders,
us
like
two.
the Golden
Yeah,
State Warriors.
The other guys don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, I went out mobile with Luis at Sunlight
Mm-hmm.
Beaver, and me, him, and Brandon went out one time. He had to do like 10 cars or something.
Oh,
So he's like,
sheesh.
just come and help. That was probably the most in sync like detailing I've ever
Like, you were
seen.
just
Like,
dancing?
dude,
Yeah.
like everything was just. We were done in like full services on like a bunch of cars. I think we were done in like 2-3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
sheesh.
that's
Like
legit.
a lot, and
Yeah.
like it was just no one said anything. It was
Just-
just everyone was happy, and we were just all because
Yeah.
you know how Luis is, dude.
Yeah.
He jokes around all the
Very
time, but
good guy. One of my good
I love
friends.
him, yeah.
love
but
that
we were. It's when you're in sync like that, and you're okay with being overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and you can just harness. It's just
Yeah,
so
Brandon
much
was in
fun.
our last podcast.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I
So
love Brandon.
Brandon.
little Miko.
That's my little Bruno Mars. So
Little Bruno Mars.
So
That's perfect.
It's funny because Brandon, dude, seeing that guy come from what he's done
Yeah.
is fantastic.
He's one of the
Yeah.
best.
That guy gets down.
He's one of like
Yeah.
when we have like super high-end cars and I just have this itch like or Picky's like oh we gotta do work on this. Let me send you to Brandon or I'll
Yeah.
send him to
And Brandon
Bieber.
is another guy like, and that's the thing that I could say is you two have been really good at really knowing your industry, because so like you guys have been really good at catering to your specific demographic and having a certain amount of clients that you have to have. Brandon's not high volume by any means,
No.
because it's just him, but
It's
the
great
quality's
work.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the quality is.
If I have him do my cars occasionally, whenever I don't have time to do my own or whatever, or my guys don't have time to do them, I mean, I know that it's gonna be 10 out of 10 every time.
Yeah.
You know?
That's my problem. I am the volume guy. I
Yeah.
am not the quality
But
guy.
there's nothing
People-
wrong with that
yeah.
as long as you still give volume and quality. Or
Yeah,
and
there's
which you
that
do.
bar, and that's what I tell the guys like, hey, we're gonna knock out these cars and whatever it is, and they'll half-ass it. I'm like, whoa, like there's some like,
Yeah.
hey, would you be pissed if your car looked like this for $60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Like
That's
there's
probably
still
one of
dust
the-
on the dash. Like,
The
Yeah.
most common things
Try.
I'll remind the guys.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, a lot of us can't afford to spend like 10 grand on to
No.
wrap their car. And
Yeah.
one of the questions I ask when they tell me the car looks good, I'm like, if you spent $7,000 right now,
Yeah.
would you be happy with this?
Yeah.
And they would say, oh, it's not. No. If it came out of your pocket and you were
Yeah.
paying for that, would you be happy with this? And then they'll be like, no. I'm like, okay, we'll redo it. Let's make
Yeah,
this
I mean,
one
I
happy."
used to ask that question all the time, and then sometimes they don't understand that.
Yeah,
it's
there's a
weird
disconnect for
because
sure.
it's like to them, it's like I would never own a Tesla. I would never be able to afford Porsche. I don't care, and it's just like, all right, then, if you were this customer
Mhm.
and you worked really hard to buy this $100,000 car and you just paid $600 for the detail, would you be happy? They're like,
Well-
all right, if I was this customer, then no. I was like, yeah, well, for you, it's different because you would never be able to afford this car right now.
Well,
But,
I
you
mean,
got to get it from
You have to,
mentality.
and then that's what I found is learning how to motivate that each employee is a complete other world too. Like,
Yeah.
Like as an example, a lot of employees don't have a passion for cars like I do.
Yeah.
I look at every little thing on a car. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Like as an example, he knows I'm over the top. Like I know almost, not everything, but probably 95% about Porsche and Porsche specs and how you want
You got a
cars
Porsche
specced
mug.
out and how, how you want certain front axle lifts with certain, things and how, a Porsche's rear wheel steer just handles better around corners at certain speeds and
Yeah.
just things like that a lot of people don't look into. But I understand that a lot of people, car guys, will have that same mindset, but the average guy doesn't. So then our job as owners and leaders is making sure you find out what fuels them and utilizing that.
Yeah.
Like as an example, some of my guys aren't big car guys, right? But they're still good installers. So it's like, if I know for them what fuels them is hanging out with their family, drinking and kicking it with their girl, then I need to utilize that as a way
Yeah.
to get the best out of them. And what that means is, hey, you want to spend more time with your girl drinking and doing whatever it is you want to do, then let's be efficient and do this, because it would be like me saying you can't see your family for 15 days.
Yeah.
How would you feel? You'd feel pretty crappy, right?
Yeah.
So that's how these people feel about something they're really passionate about with their cars or whatever it may be. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to piss me off, you mess with my car.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You want to see a really mad Anthony? That's how you'll see a really mad Anthony.
Yeah.
But that's just
I've seen
'cause
Mad
I'm-
Anthony
Have
for
you?
different reasons.
Anthony.
Oh, you might have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm usually pretty calm and collected. But,
Brian's like, no comment, no comment.
There's sometimes when the guys that don't know Anthony that well, like when I see Anthony getting to that point and I'm like in the back, I'm like, shut up.
I'm the same,
Shut up.
dude. I'm the
Shut
same
up.
exact way with.
I can feel it coming. I'm like, I know it's about to go off.
Yeah.
You need to go outside, leave him alone for 15
Yeah.
minutes, come back in.
hey, I don't want people to think I'm some psychotic
No,
dude that can't
no.
control my temper. It's not like that. But
No.
yes,
yeah.
I'm very good with my temper very long until you push it, or you try to then think that you could like belittle me or
Yeah.
talk down to me, or
Yeah.
or when I know when I know I'm right on something.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to, and I've learned this recently, it's okay to say, it's okay, you don't have to agree with me, and I back off now.
Yeah.
Before, when I was younger, I wasn't like that.
Yeah. It was
No,
like,
yeah.
my way's
I
the
was
right
like,
way.
hey, my way's the right way because I know it's right. Now,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I knew it was wrong, then I would back off, and I could admit that.
Yeah.
But these days, it's different. You know, I think as you get older, you get a little wiser. I have kids now.
Yeah.
I have a baby, so it's like now it's like life is more simple. It's
Yeah.
just
Finding that balance.
finding balance and doing those things and
That's a
kinda
good.
going from there.
That's a good question. How do you manage that balance between your family life, your work life, as
I'm
like a
still
business
working
professional?
on it. I'm still working on it. I mean, I think that's the hardest part. It's a work in progress,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you have a few companies and you're working on,
More.
possibly having 3 or 4 or a few more. So in situations like that, it really makes it difficult. But the way I kind of have done it is I push myself no matter what to make sure that the more important things are always done and taken care of. But then if it's the little things, I learn to let that be done by somebody else.
Delegate it to
Delegate it to
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
else, because I used to put it on me and say, hey, there's no
Rob
way
has that
he
problem,
can do that
yeah.
by himself, so I'm going to do it for him because he's not going to do it right.
Mhm.
Well, unless I teach him how to do it, there's no way I'm going to always end up doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm okay with spending some time, and the biggest thing that's helped me, believe it or not, is golf.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, whatever, it's just a sport. No, it's not, because golf has forced me to completely take my mind off of the company and the business for at least 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And so when I go out there, it's a release for me, because I think of the company, 24 hours a day, 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
So when I'm golfing, it's 3 hours less, and I'm not thinking about the company, so it resets me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to force myself to do it at least once to twice a week, if I can. That doesn't always happen, but if I can, it just, for myself personally, my own sanity, it helps. And then just kind of managing, putting my family first, which before was putting the company first. I didn't, not before my family, but I put, my concentration was always, hey, I got to bust my butt. I got to bust my butt.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, I want to spend time with my daughter. I want to see her grow. I want to be with my wife, or I want to just hear her laugh and giggle, which is, if you would ask me this 3 months ago, I'd have been like, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, that little girl's got my heart like you would never imagine. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be around her and do things with her, take her places and stuff. And she's only 3 months old. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
an
weird
eye-opening
balance.
event. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
for me it was like I don't know. I didn't spend time with my kids the first 2.
Yeah.
I did not spend time with them, And then so on the third one, I did not help my wife on the first 2 at all. Literally, I worked every day still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the 2 kids, and but the first one was different because I was working a normal job. The second one, my son, I was just working the business. The third one, luckily Rob was there. I took like fucking months off. Like I was still part of the business, but I didn't come in for a long time, which was really nice, But then my biggest focus was just like, all right, it's everybody has a different opinion or whatever it is, like I'm willing to sacrifice the younger years. Sounds crazy, the younger years of my kids, so I can spend more time with them when they're like
And I agree
older.
with that. And people like will say, oh no, that you can't ever get those back. But I disagree. I disagree because a baby when they're little, yeah, you want to see them
No, yeah.
goo goo gaga and
Yeah.
start doing rolling over and little things like that or walking. But the truth is that the baby at that age isn't gonna remember,
Yeah.
those little milestones.
Like I want to go to the sports games with my kids
Yeah.
when they're playing.
Yeah.
I
wanna-
want to travel with them because it's hard to travel with a kid.
So
I
you'd
wanna
rather
be
have
there.
like those 3 years that you spend with them be later on in life when you're a
Yeah.
little bit more financially comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Like have
Yeah.
more
Or be
time.
able
We went to
teach them how to ride a
Disneyland.
bike.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to Disneyland. Like my daughter was only 1, and then my son was like
A
4
baby.
at that time. Gohan. Then my daughter was like 6, so she was the only one that enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this kind of sucks. I wasted so much money for this. I couldn't go on the rides with the other 2, and
Right. And
And
then
the
they'll
other-
probably get flustered. And they're
yeah, and
crying
it was
every
like they're
once in
all
a
tired. I'm
while.
like, man, I can't wait till like they're teens and we just do cool shit.
Yeah.
I'm financially stable. I can control my time. That's what I'm gonna enjoy. You know? But that's everybody has a different. People are like I just want to enjoy the beginning, and it's like your kids are only 5 once. I'm like they're only every year once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I've accepted that they're 18 once, they're 19 once, they're 12 once, they're
You
11
have to also choose
Yeah.
your battles, and I think you're right
Yeah.
because if you grind it out hard for a while,
Mhm.
then later you'll have the time to do those things.
Oh
Like
yeah,
for
I'm
me,
already picturing it.
I'm already thinking of like for me, what I'm excited about is as she gets older, and being able to be like, all right, you want to golf? We're gonna get you
Yeah.
your custom clubs. Let's get this
Yeah,
going.
Rob's golfing with his kids, which is
Yeah,
super
and
awesome.
That's
to see.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll try to get her a scholarship to Pepperdine. or
That's
some
all
I
shit,
think about, yeah.
Like go out there and watch
No.
her golf, teach her, help her.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So
she's
those
a
are the
lot
like
better
little
than me.
things that's important for me. But also my daughter does kung fu, so I spend time with her doing that, which
That's
is really
cool.
Yeah,
nice.
that's the cool
Yeah.
thing.
I think that's cool that you're passing that down too, and I think it's cool that you've like also helped with the community of it too.
Yeah.
That's
Would you
that's
agree
really, really cool.
that kids changed everything for you more than anything?
Oh,
I think that's
absolutely.
what changed it for me.
Yeah,
'Cause I was on the grind.
People would ask me
before
like
that,
why
more
well,
than anything.
starting the business and working as hard as I am because this is your first kid,
Yeah. it
right?
is.
So I'm about to have my 4th.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
if you guys don't
intense.
know, I'm about to have my 4th.
Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I started the business when my daughter was already like 1 year old. She was like
yeah,
just
that's
born.
crazy.
And people were like, why are you going to start this business? And I was like, I only got 2 options right now, work a job or start a business. And what happens if I fail? And they're like, what happens if you fail your business? I was like, then I will fucking work a job. Like I go back, you know?
Yeah.
Like I go back. There's no any way out of it. And it kind of just worked out. But as my daughter grew up more, and then I was going to have a son, that made me want to, work harder and do more type deal.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. I agree.
But I just looked at the time and you looked at it like, holy shit, it's 12 o'clock.
Man, we've been here an hour and a half.
Yeah, that went by
That went
This
fast.
is like
super
3
fast.
episodes, dude.
We can talk forever. I know we
Yeah,
could.
we can.
We could talk forever. We'll save that for another time, though.
Dude, just bring us back.
We will.
Just bring us back.
Yeah,
Guest appearance, dude.
yeah
We're
guest
rolling
appearance.
through
Yeah, for sure.
Episode 2.
I could just be the shout out guy. Be like, just every time you guys are talking, be like,
He's
shout out
envy,
Curbside.
envy.
shout out Katana.
PPF.
Yeah. But
Oh, that's
All right,
awesome.
then.
Well, we
But-
appreciate you guys
Really,
letting
thank
us
you.
come on.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
spending time with us because I know you guys are super busy guys.
Yeah.
So this was great. I hope a lot of people got a lot of good golden nuggets from this conversation.
Yeah, and any detailers listening to this stuff, anything you guys need, we obviously, I'm sure you could tell, we'd love to help. That's what we're here for. We'd love to see detailers do better. Go on our website, check us out, call us if you have questions, and we'll be there for you guys. And when I'm available, I'll always help. I'll
Absolutely. Yeah.
pass on
Auto
my
Envy's the
knowledge.
best. They literally train me in almost everything that I know. Whenever I needed help, they always help me out. And so for the guys that really do listen and follow us, like every time someone asks me a question, I answer it genuinely.
Yeah.
I'll send them I'll spend my time sending them. Rob knows he reads.
Yeah.
I'll send him a paragraph.
Yeah,
When they ask me
we
I'll
appreciate
I'll
that
give
big
them a
time.
genuine reply.
And a thank
Nice.
you to you guys because one thing that a lot of guys don't know is I always tell him, Miguel and Isaiah, our guys, and Ruben is like, the one thing I've always had a lot of love for you about is through thick and thin, you've always supported us.
Oh, absolutely.
Auto Envy, our products, anything we did. And a lot of detailers always like to jump around, obviously, try different stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, honestly, because
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But through thick and thin, we've always been able to count on Curbside. So we love you guys. That's why we're here.
Hey,
No,
heck
great.
yeah,
And it's
man,
been
we
cool to
appreciate
see you
it.
guys grow too.
Yeah, and we're
especially
really
since
proud of
when
you
you
guys,
first
too.
came in.
No,
You
yeah.
know, doing the van a year thing, that's awesome. And you guys
Yeah.
have a big team, big squad. It's really, really cool.
It's been fun for sure, but seeing you guys grow too, working out of your garage and getting kicked out by that old lady.
Old angry lady, man. Very,
HOA,
very mean.
man.
Yeah, HOA.
HOA.
But thank you guys as always. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys are listening,
Alrighty, guys.
catch us on the next podcast. See ya.
You got it. Have a
Peace.
good one.
Yep.
It's weird taking these headphones off.
Yeah. I feel like we're in our own like little
Yeah,
bubble
we're
right
in our
there.
own